Hello everyone, welcome back to another vlog. First of all, we really do want to apologize because we've been off for a long time now, and we'll tell you the reasons for all that in this video here. But really apologize, and I know a lot of you have asked, where are you guys, why don't you post anymore? Why don't you create content, even the funny content? We had some messages and also emails that why we're not doing it.
Yes.
But here we are. So this video, first of all, again, we do apologize for being off a very long time.
And thank you for asking, because then we know that we are in your hearts.
Yes, exactly. And I think the second point we wanted to share with you guys is that since we have been through this good and bad journey somehow, we really want to share what we learned. You guys don't make the same mistakes, or not mistakes maybe, but at least consider the same things before you move as well here. So let's get to it. We'll have a few points today that we're going to break up the video in. First of all, we're going to tell a little bit about why we've been off so long, why we decided to move out of the States, and the journey from the States to here where we are now, right? So let's start with that. Why we left the USA. It's an interesting question, and a lot of people ask us. And if you go back to August 2023, my boss, CEO of this company I work for himself, he calls me and tells me that we need to go to Denmark to get our visa renewed, our US visa. As most of you probably know, we're born in Denmark, so we're Danish citizen, Danish passports. So we had to go to Denmark to the US embassy and get our visa renewed. That came as a surprise because as far as I knew, the visa was for a few years, right? And why that changed, I'll tell you a little bit about the visa category. I think it's important for you guys to know. So be aware, do not take that visa category if that's the case with you guys. So the visa we were on initially was the E2 visa, called an investor visa for the United States. And that visa is based on specific criteria, but also a shareholding in the company. We changed our shareholding a little bit in August, and hence the visa was invalid suddenly. So we had to go to Denmark. I left Denmark the 28th of August, I clearly remember. I went to Mexico with the CEO of the business for 2 weeks. Lived an amazing beach resort. Had a great time while you were waiting for the US Embassy in Denmark to call us for interview. Right, interview, it was apparently just a formality, but yeah, here we go. So I went to Mexico, enjoyed on the beach, worked from there. It was amazing. And what did you guys do?
Me and the kids, we went to Canada, Toronto, mainly because the renewal of the visa, because we have to exit the US. And then I took the chance to visit my cousin from Toronto, and we saw Niagara Falls. Okay,
you've probably seen their videos, right? So the reason for they exited and came in again, you can do that totally fine, totally legal. They exited on the investor visa we had, and they came in on a tourist visa. So when they came back on a tourist visa, you're not supposed to go in school as well. So the kids, they didn't go to school, right? So they were just in a holding pattern, but we thought instead of them being out in a hotel like myself, it would probably be better to be at their home and enjoy, the comfort of their own home. So they went to Canada a few days, came back. I was in Mexico. I think after 15 days in Mexico, me and my boss, we left for Denmark. I remember the journey even, it was quite interesting. We flew from Mexico to Portugal, Lisbon, and then we flew to Denmark from there. So it was an interesting journey as well. Once we were in Denmark, I think a couple of weeks after, the embassy called us in for an interview, and apparently it was just a formality, but we went in and we had to go for that interview. Aisha had to be there as well because she's an adult. I booked immediately a ticket for Aisha. She had to come within a couple of days, basically.
Like 24 hours.
Within 24 hours. Say, well, you gotta be here. And it went very, very fast like this.
Yeah, it went too fast, I think.
Aisha said to the school and our neighbors and our friends, you know who you are, guys. Hey, I'll be back in 1 week. So we booked a return flight for 1 week for them. I hadn't booked my return flight yet. They came, we went to the embassy, and they said, all fine, it's just a formality, right? You already had your visa, it's just a transfer to another visa. It's called L visa. My colleagues did the same and went up, we came home, everything seemed great, right? And then what happened? My colleagues got their visa a week after, and we did not get our visa. When contacted the embassy, they were very kind, and very helpful. They said, well, yours visa is gone for some extra processing and it may take some time, but we don't know. It can basically come any day. So you rest assured, Mr. Hanif, we're doing everything we can to get your visa processed and completed as soon as possible. For some reason, this was the same process that when initially we got our visa a few years back. At that time, it took a couple of weeks, then it came. Like a little bit longer than my colleagues, but it still came within a few weeks.
But now the situation was not the same like last time.
Yeah, because last time you were waiting while we lived in Denmark, we were in our own home.
And this time we lived in hotels.
So fast forward, September month goes, October goes.
Nothing. We were checking the tracking number every day, maybe a couple of times in a day, and nothing was updated.
Yeah.
So what to do?
Yeah, so what to do? Obviously, because of taxation, we had to be aware of that as well, because Denmark is a high tax country, as in California and US where we lived. So we decided to go to Dubai to sit there and wait while we were waiting for the visa. So around mid-November, we went to Dubai. Again, tourist visa, it's very easy. When you're a Danish citizen, you can travel most of the world without getting a visa, e-visa or pre-approved visa. So we just get visa on arrival. So we came around mid of November. Again, week passed, in the beginning it was like a vacation, right? And we love to be in Dubai. We've been here many times before on vacation. So we enjoyed, we stayed at the Palm, very nice location. And we had an amazing time basically. But obviously we still had that in our mind. We want to go home, kids want to go to school. My business was suffering on the West Coast, so there was a lot of reasons for why we couldn't really fully relax. Fast forward, just before the holidays, end of December, still no response. I talked to the company and they say, we know you guys always dreamt about or dream about Dubai, wanted to move there, so why don't do it now? You guys are waiting, we don't know when your visa will come, and we're going to give you this opportunity now. We will look after you and support you. But it's also an opportunity for you again for your career, because before I built up the whole Europe business, then I built up the US business, and now built up a third business for the same company in all of the Middle East and Asia Pacific. Well, let me think about it, right? We had to discuss it between us and see. Obviously, most of all, we just wanted to get to our home in the US.
So over the Christmas holidays, we just think and considering and took a decision.
Yeah, so on the other side of New Year, we took a decision and I'll accept the offer. Let's do it. And obviously from then in January, there was some practicalities and all that. We had to find out what type of visa we were getting here. We had to find out the kids' schools. The cost of living here is very different. I mean, the setup is different. And so we spent a couple of months of that. We had some amazing lawyers do our visa, first mine, and then the families, because they're dependents, my visa. So the process took a couple of months, because it had to be from scratch, register our company first. So all that took time, but very smooth, no hiccups. The system here is amazing when you first get into it. We'll get down to that later on. But so here we are in April, May. We finally settled, finally moved in. And we are very happy with our decision. And our update, what happened a couple of weeks ago.
You got an email?
Yes. So in the morning, we're sitting here with our morning coffee, me and Aisha, and I got an email from the US Embassy. Hey, Mr. Hanif, pleased to tell you that your visa is through. Please come by and collect your visa. So the new visa is a much longer visa, and we can go in and out and stay there and live there as we want. So so now we got our US visa, and we also got a visa here for UAE. Right?
Yeah. So what to do? Do you want to go back?
No. Actually, I'm very happy with our decision. I think there's a lot of pros by living here, and we'll get into them and shortly in this video. So I think it's important to share some of the decision criteria that we had for a country to move to. So keep on listening in and watch, and we'll share some of the reasons for why we moved here. Right? let's get on to the next point. So yes, in all this process here, obviously we had our full home in US, right? So we had to set Aisha away from us. She left us basically. And she just left me alone with 2 kids. Can you imagine?
No, you were not alone. Your Sasuma was here. Okay, so what happened was in the beginning of January, he bought a ticket for me from Dubai to San Francisco so I could go back. And I went back and I was emotionally very upset because I felt that it was maybe my last time I'm landing here in San Francisco. So I got home and the only job I had there in 3 weeks was to wrap up everything and send the container to clear up everything, give the apartment back. So we booked a container and a shipping from San Francisco to Dubai with our stuff. You can see all our furniture here, but our car is also here. So we booked our car as well. 3 weeks I was away and then I came back and we recently just got our container.
Yeah, so as you guys probably can see, if you have seen, you might have seen, we'll try to link up the videos right here. But when Aisha was alone in the States, how she packed down, how the moving company came and packed everything, and we'll make sure to put on the links here so you can watch those videos as well, how that whole process is and how actually easy it is as an expat to move when you have a company doing everything for you basically. So that was Aisha's experience there, and we'll definitely link the videos here so you can watch them as well and see Aisha's experience there those weeks alone, right?
Yeah, it was a good experience actually. I could say goodbye to everyone, but of course I was very emotionally upset. But inshallah one day I will see all my friends again.
Great. That takes us to the next point here, and the next point is the location of the United Arab Emirates. So as you probably all know, Dubai is located in the middle of a lot of countries, right? So we are born in Denmark. The flight to and from Denmark is only around 6 hours. Our parents, they're from Pakistan. There are a lot in Pakistan. So the flight to Pakistan is around 3 hours, is it?
Yeah.
Around 3 hours.
And we are closer to Denmark, so I can get more chocolate from there.
She likes her chocolate, as you probably can imagine. So yeah, and now having friends from Japan, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, I just feel much closer to everyone basically, right? So from India as well, we have a lot of friends and followers from India as well, and for the business as well. So location-wise, I think in the world, yes, US is great when you're in US and all the states, right? But being here, it just opened up to so many travel opportunities, so many exotic
luxuries,
more
well. Luxuries, yeah.
But location, I think it was obviously always been a pulling point for us because it's so easy to get to. We have one of the world's biggest airports, soon to become the world's biggest airport, which have direct flights to almost all cities, right? So yeah, location was the second point and why we actually decided to stay here, because many times we felt very far away when living in south of San Francisco. Having a visit from Denmark was very difficult.
It was like the end station of the world there.
Right, compared to Europe. So
it took 12 hours to fly from San Francisco to Denmark, and that's a long time.
Yeah. So that was one of the decision criteria, and I think an important one, the location. And number 3 point of why we moved to Dubai is the lifestyle. Who doesn't love a lot of luxury, a lot of nice cars, a lot of glitter, nice restaurants, Michelin restaurants.
People around you to do everything.
Yeah, and the beaches, pools, everywhere, right? So obviously that's the lifestyle. It's not everyone that's rich here or multi-rich, but you don't have to be. That's a very important thing. You don't have to be very rich to live here. I think it's a myth, basically, right? But the lifestyle here, there's several aspects of the lifestyle that we love. I think here we get more time to focus on our children and ourselves.
Yeah, I feel that you're more home.
Yes, yet, so far.
Yeah,
right,
right now.
But
why I use more time with the kids is because I have a girl who's helping me at home, and we have people to do many things here.
Yeah, I think when we say lifestyle, right, there's a couple of things. First of all, the access to service, right? So access to housemates, cleaning services, indoor and outdoor, deliveries. You get anything delivered within 20 minutes here in Dubai. It just frees up so much of your valuable time, right? I think one thing we really realized, and we spoke about, I'm 41 now, I don't have a lot of time left in my life. I hope so I have. But we want to spend as much time as possible together and with our kids now. Kids are growing very, very fast. As the ones that have kids, you probably know, they're getting taller and bigger and bigger. So we want to spend as much time with them as possible. So having access to these things here free up a lot of our time to be able to spend time as a family, go out as a family, and do a lot of things together while not having to think about the house chores all the time. Right? I think that was one of the biggest aspects. For us, then obviously, who doesn't love a little bit of luxury? Who doesn't love a little bit of beach, seaside, and just a general lifestyle here, right? It's very laid back. So a lot of good stuff on the lifestyle, and I think it suits our personality well. So that was with the decision criteria on why we chose. So reason number 4 is the people.
So we love when there's different kind of people here from different places from the world.
Yeah, and I think one big eye-opener for us was that in the States, we lived amongst people from Korea, Japan, India, Eastern Europe, South America, my Colombian friends, if you're watching, Canada, basically from all around the world.
Yeah.
And I just saw on ourselves and our kids, it just widened our view of the world a lot. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about people, and we quite enjoyed having different cultures around us. And I think
to learn some new things from different cultures.
Yeah, languages, their cultures, traditions, the way of living. I think it's been an amazing gift we had, and those years we were in US, and we wanted to continue to have that. So as you probably know, Dubai is a big melting pot for all these things, right? And for all the people. So you basically have people from all around the world.
So I felt that when we moved to USA, the kids, they were more open for different cultures, and we really like that.
And the next one, the number 5, a very important one, you have to listen in here. Taxes. Who don't love a good bit of old taxes? Yeah. Anyway, we come from a very, very high tax country in Denmark. So in the end, I used to pay around 60% in tax. Around the same in US when you live in California and you earn a certain amount. Dubai is basically 0% tax. A lot of you guys ask me, so is it not a little bit of tax? No, it's 0% of tax, right? So that was obviously also a big factor when deciding on where to live, which country to visit. Yes, when you're employed by someone, it's 0% tax. If you have a business, up to 9% tax. It's just recently they put that in. But still, in our case, it's 0% tax, and it does a huge difference for us. It can do a huge difference in our investments, in our savings, and our life going forward. So I think it was about the right time now. We thought about that as well.
Yeah, but it has always been Dave's dream to move to Dubai, right?
Yeah, it was. I love.
So maybe it was the time.
Yeah. I think it's God's will, right? We always wanted it, but we didn't think that it would come so fast. We wanted it in a couple of years, but it came already. So
yeah. And I also think that if we stayed more longer in US, then we'll be more connected to that, and then it will be more difficult for us to take the decision by ourselves.
And the last point, I think one thing that also helped us on decide on Dubai was the culture. And it's funny because a lot of people out in the world, in Europe as well, and in US, they say, well, they don't have any culture, do they? That's absolutely not true, right? I think they're very, very strong in keeping their culture. The Emiratis, all respect to them, they're very, very strong in keeping their cultures, their values, their religion, right? Even though majority of the people here are expats, so much of Arabic culture grained into everything you do here, that of course they keep their culture, right? And we love their culture, we love it. Look, I think, in Friday prayers or, whenever we want to relax, we wear a long gandura and Aisha, not for religious reasons, but because she likes it. It's cultural. She wear abaya as well. It's really pretty and it's nice. And the kids love to wear ganduras as well.
And what did you experience today?
Yeah, another cultural thing is, look, even the international schools, right? So you think international schools will be 100% international? Yes, they are, but they still keep their culture. So today I was at the school at a certain time, and suddenly everyone, the whole school just stands still like this.
No, they stand up and
just stand up and still, and the national anthem of United Arab Emirates comes, and everyone is just quiet and standing there and listening and believing, and it's like it was like a meditation moment. I was so surprised, and that just goes to confirm that they have a lot of culture here. They have a lot of values, and also obviously also being Muslims, it's even a plus, right? You know, we are close. There's a mosque everywhere here. Even by being here the last few months, we had the opportunity to visit Mecca and Saudi Arabia. So obviously, you know, we are Muslims, alhamdulillah, and there's mosque everywhere. They call for prayers. It's amazing. And while we live here now, we had the opportunity to go to Allah's house in Mecca and Saudi. So it's just, again, you know, it kind of takes us back to the roots in a good way. And I think, you know, growing up in a Western country, Western culture, for us Christmas was always a big thing. The whole month of Christmas, we always loved it, right? You know, and even Ramadan. But having spent the Ramadan here in Dubai, it was absolutely amazing. So much culture here, so much culture where everyone, even Europeans, Western people, they kind of go into the culture.
Yeah.
So that was the reasons for why we decided on moving to Dubai, and here we are now. And as we said, we're going to do a lot of content because there's a lot of steps in this process here. So we want to kind of share our experiences firsthand, because what we experienced was there's a lot of good content out on the net and YouTube, but some of it is not completely up to date or right, or what we experienced. So we're going to share exactly what we did, the cost of what we did, and all the steps throughout the different processes in order to get settled here. Yeah. But all in all, I think we are finally happy. Obviously, we'll always miss USA. It has a special place in our heart, and the people there have a special place in our heart. The business I built there have a special place. But yeah, you know, all good to the States. It was an amazing experience. Alhamdulillah, still happy. What do you say?
Yes, I'm very happy to be here.
Great. So I hope you enjoy watching this video and have a lot of subjects lined up for coming videos. If you have some subject in mind, please do that and let us know in the comment section what you think about this video, what you think about the reasons. Are we right? Are we completely wrong? And yeah, let us know what you want to see next, and continue to watch. And please do subscribe if you like our channel, like this video. Please share with your friends. I really appreciate it. We look forward to engaging a lot more with you guys. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Bye-bye.